All right, let's get right into it. We're about to unpack a huge idea from neuroscience that might just change everything you think you know about love. And it all boils down to this. Your love life isn't magic. It's a prediction engine.
I mean, wow. That sounds a little cold, doesn't it? This is the line that kicks off the whole idea, and it's meant to grab you, to challenge that fairy tale feeling that love just happens to you. But you gotta stick with me here, because what's behind this statement is actually incredibly warm and human.
So yeah, let's flip that initial reaction on its head. What if this whole prediction thing isn't cold and robotic at all? What if it's the very thing that makes you feel safe, seen, and deeply understood by someone? You know that feeling when you're with a person and you can just relax because they just get you? That's not some cosmic accident. That's a prediction landing perfectly. To really get this, we need to talk about the system that's running the show, and it's called active inference. Here's the core of it. Your brain isn't just sitting back and waiting for things to happen. No, it's constantly, 24/7, making guesses about what's going to happen next. It's a full-time prediction machine, running this little loop over and over again, completely under the radar.
And here's how that loop works. Step 1. Your brain predicts something. Based on everything you've ever experienced, it makes a guess. Step 2. You sense the world. You see, hear, and feel what's actually happening. Step 3. You compare. How did my guess stack up against reality? And finally, step 4. You act. If your guess was wrong, you update your internal model. Or, and this is wild, you act on the world to try and make it match your prediction. This little cycle, it's happening in every single conversation, every glance, every moment.
Now, this brings us to maybe the most important concept in this whole explainer, prediction error. It's pretty simple. It's just the gap between what you thought would happen and what actually happened. And your nervous system treats that gap like front-page news. A small error, a little surprise, that can feel exciting. But a big one, a huge mismatch, that can feel deeply unsettling, even threatening.
Okay, so enough theory. Let's see what this engine looks like out in the real world. This is where it all clicks, when we talk about two things we've all felt. That amazing feeling of chemistry and that awkward feeling of a total mismatch.
So picture a really, really good first date. The conversation is effortless, right? You finish each other's sentences, you laugh at the same time. There's that feeling, that spark. We call it chemistry. But what is actually going on under the hood?
It's this. That incredible spark is the feeling of two prediction engines humming along in perfect sync. Your internal model for what a good conversation feels like, what's funny, how to be vulnerable, it all lines up almost perfectly with their model. Your whole system just breathes a sigh of relief and says, yes, this works.
You can really see it when you put them side by side. On one side, you've got chemistry. The models are aligned. Your predictions about how the other person will respond are mostly right. The few times they're wrong, the little surprises, they feel fun and exciting. The verdict from your brain, we've got a spark. But then you have the mismatch. The models are all wrong. Your jokes fall flat. Your bids for connection are missed. The prediction errors are huge and jarring. It just feels awkward. The verdict, no spark here. It's the same system, just producing totally opposite results.
So a pretty big question comes up here. Where in the world do these predictive models even come from? Well, they're built over time, from a lifetime of training data. Your prediction engine has been learning and updating since the moment you were born. And this training happens across our whole lives. It starts in infancy, where we learn our very first lessons about safety and whether the world will respond when we need something. Then we get to the playground, a whole new training ground for social cues and who to trust. And then, the first heartbreak. That's a massive prediction error. The model for how love is supposed to work gets shattered, and the whole system has to be rewritten. Then, as adults, we tend to choose people in situations that confirm the models we've already spent a lifetime building.
Okay, so let's bring it all back to you, right now. Why does any of this matter? Well, because seeing yourself this way can totally change how you look at your own relationship patterns. The biggest shift is going from thinking you have flaws to understanding you have trained configurations.
Think of it like this. If your relationship is humming along smoothly, it's because your two prediction engines are really well calibrated to each other. If you find yourself having the same fight over and over again, you're probably stuck in a mutual error spiral. Your reaction is a prediction error for them, and their reaction is a prediction error for you, and on it goes. And if you've ever been told you have trust issues or intimacy issues, this framework says no, what you have is a highly specific, trained configuration. And this is so important. That configuration was a perfectly rational adaptation to the world that trained you. It was the best way to keep you safe back then. It's not a bug, it's a feature that was built for a different time.
And that leads to this powerful takeaway. It gives us a whole new way to think about things like attachment styles,
Whether you're anxious, avoidant, or secure, that's not some permanent label of who you are. It's just a description of how your personal prediction engine was trained to operate to keep you safe.
Which of course leaves us with one final, and I think very hopeful question. If this whole complex, deeply rooted system was trained into us by our life experiences, well, doesn't that mean it can be retrained? Can we actually give our engine new data? Can we learn with time and effort to make new predictions? It's something to think about, isn't it? The idea that maybe, just maybe, the map of our love lives isn't set in stone.